Thanks. A foul odor drifted through Southern California today. The rotten egg smell spread across the region from the Inland Empire to the Los Angeles Basin and into the San Fernando Valley. KCAL 9's Art Barron is live in Mission Hills with more on the search for what's causing it. Art.
Absolutely, Lena, and I checked with the AQMD this afternoon, and listen to this. You're right. Folks from Palm Springs all the way to the Simi Valley could smell it, and they describe it as a rotten egg smell, like a sulfur type smell, and a thick haze accompanied it. As a matter of fact, as you look right behind me, you could barely see those mountains this morning, but the haze has since dissipated. But I'll tell you, this morning the smell was so bad it kept many folks inside.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fifth grader Stephen Meza left Osceola Street Elementary School early today. He has asthma.
We're taking him home, giving him some medicine, and let him rest, and try to get him out of the smelly air. So
people who live in Sylmar really noticed the morning stink.
Bad odor, like a sewer smell, which I thought it was our house, but I guess my mom was telling me it's nothing. She checked it out, and soon enough I come to school, and it's the whole valley that's having that odor.
Stephen said children at the school were kept inside.
They told us to stay indoors and not to turn on the air conditioning so the smell won't get into our rooms.
LAUSD never closed schools, but allowed them to implement a so-called rainy day schedule to keep children inside. From up above, the blanket of brown haze reduced visibility. The South Coast Air Quality Management District received more than 200 complaints about the rotten egg smell from the Coachella Valley to the San Fernando Valley.
Well over 100 miles. This is very unusual to have an odor reported over such a wide area.
It's still a mystery, but is investigating whether the smell is that of a fish kill coming all the way from the Salton Sea.
like it didn't hurt my throat, or it didn't burn my eyes, or it didn't, it was just like, oh my goodness, what is that?
The director of daycare at Sylmar's Olive View Hospital could smell it when she got to work.
We did have a couple parents call and say, hey, what's going on?
Yeah,
because it smelled bad.
Yeah.
We checked a lot of dirty diapers. We checked to make sure we didn't have dirty diapers and things like that.
Back out here live, I want to tell you there are no reports of any illness, and this is what we're getting from the LA County Department of Health. And right now we're just realizing that this smell really kept so many people inside. They want to know the source. Where did it come from? At this point, it's not officially known, but of course the officials are checking into all of this. That's the very latest. We're live in Mission Hills. Art Barron, KCAL 9 News.
Hey, I'm Lauren Goris. Ew, what's that smell?
It smells like a fishy smell. Yeah, it's horrible.
Kind of smells like trash and like sulfur when you start a match, kind of.
I would say like a pond that has no water coming in and out of it.
So just a dirty pond.
Yeah.
Noses across Southern California got a nasty surprise this week as a rotten egg smell was reported across a 10,000 square mile area. One of the potential culprits, the Salton Sea, located about 150 miles southeast of Los Angeles. The GM of the Salton Sea Authority told the LA Times, in the last week, the blistering heat deprived parts of the Salton Sea of dissolved oxygen in the water, causing fish to die and settle in the bottom with other organic material where they decompose. Then a thunderstorm barreled through the area Sunday night, churning moisture-laden air counterclockwise and pushing it from the southeast. But air quality investigators said there wasn't definitive evidence pointing to the saltwater lake. Here's KTTV.
The dying fish over at the Salton Sea, the decaying of those fish has a pretty foul odor. But forecasters told us the winds simply weren't strong enough to move that smell that far west. So there must be other sources that folks were smelling.
So in the meantime, we suggest you close the windows, light a couple of candles, and just walk around like this. Simple enough. For Newsy, I'm Lauren Goris.
Rotten smell.
What's the source of this foul odor?
Everybody wants to know where the odor's coming from.
The South Coast Air Quality Management District dispatched inspectors to investigate the cause of the stench that had a lot of people talking.
What did you smell?
It smelled like sewer, kind of like swamp.
It's like a fertilizer, kind of smelly like that.
And others described it as a strong, foul, rotten egg sulfur odor. A stench reported from Simi Valley to Palm Springs to Lake Elsinore.
If it makes anyone sick, then they should go indoors, turn on their air conditioners, close the windows.
Health officials say a massive fish die-off in the Salton Sea may be to blame. The area is more than 100 miles away from Los Angeles, but officials believe Sunday night's thunderstorms and strong winds likely carried that stench.
Yeah, it was pretty horrific. Yeah, and it just kind of crept in all of a sudden, and everything smelled bad. And
it was pretty bad, actually, for a little while.
I couldn't believe it came into the house and just filled the room.
The storm blew in dust and a bad smell from the southeast, near the area where last month hundreds of earthquakes shook the city of Brawley. USGS says it's unlikely earthquakes are the cause.
We really don't have a correlation between smells and earthquakes. I mean, I suppose if you stir up enough odd sediment in the Salton Sea, you might get something, but it seems much more likely that it's connected to the unusual weather, being able to blow the smells up from the Salton Sea.
The Salton Sea Authority agrees. They say it's possible the strong winds churned up the bottom of the hot sea.
It'd be like sort of like a tea kettle. As it starts boiling, it releases chemicals in the bed, the lake bed, that come up, and that's normally like methane gas that's generated from anaerobic conditions. And so you get this smell. It's just a naturally occurring thing.
But people we talked to say it's never been this bad.
I've lived here 16 years, and I know that people say they smell the Salton Sea, but I've never really been overwhelmed by it, but it was overwhelming.
Not that degree, and not that quickly, and not that dirty. I mean, everything was really dirty really fast. It's kind of like the debris matched the smell when we got up.
The Salton Sea Authority says they have never seen the smell from the lake make its way out this far west.
Maybe the poor Salton Sea is getting blamed for something that it's not.